I have 8 different kitchen gadgets here versus 1 knife. Ooh, that's sharp. Let's find out if the gadgets are faster and easier to use than the knife. Starting with the cheapest one and moving all the way to the most expensive one. The first gadget's gonna be this banana slicer right here. Let's see what it looks like inside. Get this opened up, and there it is. It looks like it's gonna cut probably like 5 or 6 slices at a time. Pulling on that handle is actually really easy. It moves in super easily and feels kind of fluent, and like it's going to work pretty well. If you don't open up your bananas upside down, you're definitely doing it wrong. This is definitely the easier way to open a banana. Let's put it right through this slicer here and see how it does. I'm gonna put it part of the way through there and just push down. Oh, got my finger in the way there the first time. Luckily it wasn't too sharp. Let's try once more. So counting the slip up for my first time using it, that took about 6 seconds, and you could probably do it twice as fast. Let's try a knife now. And now for the knife, I don't have the best knife skills in the world, but I feel like they're good enough to get a good comparison here. Trying to make the slices about the same size, and done. Definitely double the time, way slower. And comparing the slices here in the first one, you can see they're all pretty uniform. I mean, this one looks thicker than the other ones, but for the most part, they're all about the same thickness. With the knife, obviously, I'm a bit all over the place. 12 seconds versus 6, and I would say the gadget's the winner in the first one. At number 2 is this pepper core right here. It looks like it kind of has a blade on the end there that you twist into a pepper to get the core out of it. So I've got 2 jalapenos here. I cut off the tops of them because you do need to for this gadget, so thought it'd be fair to cut both off, and we're just gonna see how long it takes to actually get the core out. So let's start the timer now, and here we go. I'm gonna get this in there. Ooh, slides in really easily actually, and I think you just twist from what I can tell by the looks of the gadget. You can kind of feel the core twisting out of there. And then I think we can just scoop it out. And there we go, wow. There's the whole pepper decored. I'm gonna cut it open to see how much of that core actually came out. And I'd say like 90%. We definitely have some loose ends here that we can easily just kind of scrape out, and a little bit left in there too. So it did an okay job so far, and it took 19 seconds. Now, obviously for the one with the knife, I'm gonna have to cut it open and then get the core out. I'm gonna count the cutting time too, because I don't think it would be fair to just start from easily accessing it. So let's start the timer right now and use our knife. Cut this in half here. And let's start trying to get the core out of this. I'll just try loosening it a bit through all of the ends. It's definitely not an easy task, in my opinion, to get the core out of there, but I think it's pretty loose to the point where we can pull it now, maybe. Get those seeds out of there to make it all fair. And then on to the second half. It's probably honestly easiest to just pull the core out of the peppers. Yeah, there we go. And we'll call time there. So overall, it took me about 35 seconds to do it with a knife, 25 seconds to do it with the gadget. I'd say the gadget did a little bit better job than I did with the knife in hand. However, would I necessarily purchase this gadget? Probably not. It seems like too little of a use case for saving not enough time on this one. Gadget number 3 is gonna be this grape or cherry tomato cutter right here. It looks like you basically just put them inside, push this down, and you get them cut into quarters. Let's open this up. Looks like it comes with a protector on the bottom too, so that you don't ruin that blade down there or cut yourself on it. Let's see how fast we can cut up 10 grapes. I think that'll be a good metric here. By the way, let me know in the comments down below, green or red grapes. I'm definitely a green grape person myself. Starting the timer, let's shove the first grape in. It's a little bit tricky to get into there. Oh no, the first one failed on us here. They're kind of getting stuck in there. All right, well the timer is obviously ruined on this one. Let's restart it, and hopefully that first one was just a fluke here. Gonna put the first one back in, start the timer again, shove that down, push it through. I mean, it did quarter it, but man, it's getting stuck in there, so let's just see how long it takes, I guess. Number 2. Maybe my grapes are a little bit too big. I'm gonna see if I can find 10 smaller grapes and test it out with that. Just hitting that timer and throwing the first one in, it definitely fits a lot easier. And okay, it's going through now with the smaller ones. You actually have to push a good amount to get those to kind of click through all the way, it seems like. If you don't like hit that click at the end, it doesn't go. Getting faster at this, but they're going all over the place. Done. The time was just over 25 seconds to do 10 of them here, but it did quarter them honestly perfectly, like probably better than I'm gonna do with a knife. However, a few of them went flying all over my kitchen with how fast I was moving. We'll take that with a grain of salt and move over to the knife. All right, restarting the timer for a knife. 3, 2, 1, go. Not gonna lie, quartering grapes with a knife is pretty tricky. and done. That took me right around 1 minute to do 10 with a knife. However, the gadget, you can only use smaller grapes and they kind of fly all over the place. I'm gonna say, even though the gadget is faster, I would just use a knife for this one. Gadget number 4 is gonna be this watermelon slicer that apparently helps you make the perfect sized slices of watermelons way easier. So we're gonna figure out if that's true. Watermelons are the best fruit. Let me know if you disagree. We've got our watermelon cut in half. I did have to cut off the end of it here so that this gadget can actually go into it, because obviously I don't wanna cut the peel of the watermelon. But let's try this out and see how fast we can actually slice up the entire half of the watermelon. I'm gonna start the timer, hopeful that it'll work well, and see, just push this through, I guess. Okay, we got a few slices at first. Let's keep going. Honestly, it's really easy to use. I'm like barely pushing, but it is kind of creating a bit of a mess and definitely not even pieces so far. We'll just do most of this and see kind of what the time looks like. And I'm gonna call the time there. It was about 55 seconds to get the watermelon to look like this, and this is what our actual cuts look like on the counter right here. A little bit of juice all over the place, definitely uneven cuts, but I was surprised. I thought this would be like a lot of effort to push through the watermelon, and it's actually quite easy, but now let's compare it to a knife. So I used to eat about 1 watermelon every single week, so I definitely have a little bit of an advantage with a knife here, but let's see how long it takes me to cut this up fully. Starting the timer right now. And I like to cut it in half to actually get that faster, and then go through with a technique kind of like this. And that's 1/2, and you can see how perfect that was. I'm gonna stop the timer there. So it took me about 45 seconds to do 1/2, so it will take me about 1.5 minutes, we'll say, so about 30 seconds longer than the gadget. Look at this peel compared to the previous one. My cat's busy on that peel, but you can see how much watermelon is actually left over in there. So overall, timing-wise, this is definitely faster, and if you're just trying to like get a few cubes out of the watermelon right there super quickly, or you don't want to use a knife, this is definitely a good alternative. However, the knife, I would say, works a little bit better than this. Number 5 is this pineapple core right here. Now, I'm actually really excited about this one. The image makes it look like you're gonna get like a spiralized pineapple with no core. For me, cutting the core off of a pineapple is honestly pretty tricky. So let's get this cut off the top right here and then try out the gadget. All right, so I think this just goes over the core here, and then it looks like I just twist the gadget. So let's try this out. I'm starting the timer now, and here we go. This is actually not taking too much effort at all. It's like twisting really easily on its own. Certainly a lot of twists, but like I said, the twists aren't too difficult, so I'm a little bit tired, but not too bad. And I think it stopped twisting now, so I guess I just pull up maybe? Oh my God, guys, look at that. The core is completely gone in the middle. We have a perfectly spiralized pineapple. How in the world do I get it off of this thing? So I stopped the timer at about 50 seconds, which I think is wildly impressive, but now it looks like I just take the handle back off of this gadget right here, just like that, and then turn it upside down. Look at this, guys. I mean, those are perfect pineapple slices. In under 1 minute, an entire pineapple. This is one of the best gadgets I've ever tested. Not only that, but there's actually pineapple juice inside of the pineapple too, which I get to now enjoy. So I have a second pineapple, guys, and I know I've been doing knife tests, but to be completely honest, my knife skills aren't even gonna come close to what I did with this pineapple gadget right here. I'm just gonna call the gadget a far winner, way better than I could do. It'd take me like 4 or 5 minutes, and I'd probably miss parts of the core and eat parts of it too. So huge success on this gadget. If you guys want this gadget or any of the other ones that I test, they're all in the description down below. At number 6 is this apple slicing gadget right here. It looks like it's gonna be as satisfying as that pineapple one. It also has a built-in cover, which is definitely nice to protect those blades right there. So you can just open the cover to actually use it there, and it's connected onto there, which I really like. But let's see how fast we can actually cut this apple into perfect slices, and hopefully the middle right here removes the core too perfectly. So let's hit the timer right now and let's go. Oh my goodness, guys, look at that. I mean, come on, that is absolutely perfect. So that took about 5 seconds to get the slices right here, and it looks like the cover actually pushes the slices up open too. So you kind of push on the bottom and they all fall off right there. A couple we gotta pull ourselves, but nothing too much. Perfect slices. Every single one is exactly the same size. The core in the middle, completely gone, and only the core too, so that's perfect. honestly amazing, and that took, what, 5 seconds with the gadget right there? Again, I think there's no way I'm gonna compete with the gadget there and do this in 5 seconds, but I'm still gonna try. Let's start the timer and get this one cut up into slices. I'm gonna try and avoid the core, although I'm not really sure how to avoid the core when cutting an apple, so honestly, we're probably just gonna leave it for now. So that took about 21 seconds instead of 5, and I would say my slices are definitely not all the same size, and the core is still in the apple because I don't know how you cut the slices with cutting the core out like the gadget did. So overall, another gadget that's a huge winner right here. At number 7 is this garlic press. Now this will actually crush your garlic with the peels already on. You don't have to unpeel them at all, and it'll pop out those peels too. So we're gonna do a test of 2 cloves of garlic with the garlic press versus the knife and see which one's faster. I'm gonna include the peeling time with the knife because I think that makes it a fair test here. So we'll take 2 cloves of garlic, and I think I could put both of them in here at once probably, but we'll just do one at a time. And let's go ahead and start the timer now. Here we go. First clove's going in, press it right through into here. And it comes mostly off, and then that little thing on the bottom also gets the rest of it off. You can help it out a little bit. Get the peel out, grab that. And then number 2, clove goes into there. Boom, all done. Get the garlic off, get the peel out, and time. So that took right around 26 seconds to do 2 cloves of garlic. Honestly, it's probably gonna take me that long just to peel these, but let's do it just for the test here. All right, starting the timer with the knife test now. Right now, what I like to do is cut off the ends of these right here to make them peel a little bit easier. You just slice off the ends like that, put your knife on top and hit it down a little bit. I'll do it on both. And then it should peel much easier. Yeah, you can see those peels definitely fall mostly off from that little knife trick right there. And there's one unpeeled. We got a bad piece of garlic, but we're gonna continue for the test for the timer. I'm already past the original time, but let's mince this up now. And we'll call that good enough for the test. I mean, compared to the press, it's not quite there, but I'll call the time right there. There's our little comparison, and this took well over 1 minute to do 2 cloves with a knife, and not even close to as pressed as the garlic press. So obviously the gadget is a huge winner here. And gadget number 8 here, our most expensive one, is a potato peeler. Now, my least favorite thing about eating potatoes in general is peeling them. I hate using a peeler personally, so as long as the gadget works, it's probably gonna be a winner for me, but let's see which one is actually the quickest. So it looks like we just take the potato and put it on these little kind of blades right here. They're not too sharp. Pull this down, and then I think just push the button and hopefully it's gonna peel for us. So let's try it out. Potato is going on. I'm gonna start the timer right now. Slide that potato onto there. And then I think we move this guy down first, or maybe both down at the same time. Yeah, there we go. Start the blade up here somewhere. Push this down to grasp onto it. Perfect. And let's hit the red button. Do I even need to say anything, guys? This is wildly impressive. This is the peel of the potato, guys. I mean, it barely took anything off of the potato. Like, look, it doesn't waste any of the potato at all. I think we just lift this now. I totally forgot to stop the timer, but I think we were right around like 25 seconds here. There's the potato. I mean, you can see we lost almost none of it. You do have to trim the edges of the potato yourself. So the top and the bottom right there, we just barely miss with the gadget. But I mean, that is incredibly impressive, guys. Wow, I love this one. Now, obviously, normally you'd use a peeler for this. I hate using peelers, and I usually just use a knife to peel my potatoes because it's way faster. So that's what we're gonna do for this test, is try and peel this with a knife. And let's see how fast I can do it. So starting the timer now, and here we go. I'll just run it as thinly as I can down the sides to save as much of the potato as I can. And obviously, I'm losing more of the potato than that gadget already, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job with how thin I am slicing it off. So honestly, time-wise, if you use a knife to peel your potatoes, you're gonna be right around the same amount of time as the gadget. However, you can see how much of the potato I actually lost inside of the peel of like a tongue twister trying to say this one, but I lost a lot of the potato inside of the peel right there, guys. So I'm gonna say the gadget is a huge success here, especially for only about the $30 price point it is. I absolutely love this one. If you guys wanna see me test another kitchen gadget fully, see what it can cut, click right here.